Some opportunities here around 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. Pacific time. So thought I would share some insight on what I'm seeing here on the market. Just kind of confirming I have sound on my phone. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, so what we're seeing is so earlier I was live streaming. I had a trade going from here. I was mostly shorting the whole morning. Ended up locking in around 9 o'clock because I just didn't want to hold through it. That was actually the right call in the morning. Of going short there. We sold off here into basically going back to ES. So we sold into this initial balance, the extension line, which usually holds us as a decent support. What was interesting was we saw 4,700 more buyers and sellers here, and eventually that dipped a little bit lower and then pushed back up with 5,000 more buyers and sellers and 2,000 more buyers and sellers out of these 20,000 volume bars. So yeah, right now I'm holding a couple contracts long on 5 accounts only. So nice little trade here, already up quite a bit, about $170 on these couple contracts. I don't expect this to be super trendy back up since we are kind of in a downtrend. So my target is about like 185.75 or 484,185. 75 here, kind of this previous resistance area or previous support that was there. So kind of looking to just do a quick trade, but I thought I would just show you guys what I'm looking at here on the market. Looks pretty interesting. Doing this live while I'm just doing this recording live and seeing exactly what's happening in the market. Nasdaq here was pretty similar. It kind of broke through this first extension line of the initial balance, poked through it, and then kind of testing a little bit higher. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool little trade. Almost got filled here. A few points away, hopefully. Because my theory here is I might actually lower it. We might just test this 85 zone, the initial balance low. Yeah, I'm actually just gonna lock this in. I'm just not having a great. I don't think this is just gonna keep rallying up. It obviously can, but for me, I'm up $60 per trade. Bam, just locked it in. 5 accounts, fully funded accounts. I'm up $426 for the day, which is great. So thought I would just show you guys this little trade here, doing it live here. So that was a nice little trade here. I was kind of looking to do some more trading here since the market is kind of moving here nicely. And usually I like to trade from around 7 o'clock until 9 o'clock a.m. Pacific time. And then also come back from around 10 to 11 if the market is moving nicely, which in this case it is. So let's see if we're going to get a little bit more price action here. I did to call out this first phase faked me out here. I forgot to mention. So I saw 4,000 off of this area. I took a long here with a stop just below this this low here, and I ended up getting faked out here. So got out at 41.77 here for basically a 1.5 point stop, very very tight stop. But then when I saw that like manipulation phase here, it's like a lot of buyers, boom, it pokes through and then recovers right away. I'm like, no, this has gotta go long. This has gotta go higher. So I just rebought higher. Then it kind of tested a little bit lower here, rebought, added another contract, and then now it's slowly grinding up. Potentially, I might regret getting locking in these profits for now, but It just when the market, yeah, with all the news going on, it might be kind of risky holding this for a potential longer move. So I'm happy just locking in the gains here. Usually I don't like to counter trend too much. So because to me this trend, as I was basically saying all morning, this trend is lower. So that's why I was kind of in the shorting zone here, and then ended up locking in way too early around 9 o'clock when I was stepping away. And then this thing just sold off significantly more. And then I just started seeing a lot of buyers here on the bottom. So went long, caught this little nice little move up here from 78.50 to 85, 41.85. Now, yeah, and like I was saying, we're seeing a little bit of a pullback here, which is great. One of the reasons I was taking profit here was because of this area right here. Kind of, it was the previous support here, and it's finding some resistance there. Still looks like buyers are in control. Yeah, NASDAQ didn't have as much buyers here on the bottom. And right now it's showing a little bit of weakness. I feel like in general, NASDAQ seems a lot weaker today for me than ES. Yeah, looks like buyers are still in control here. I'm curious with just locked in these profits here. That was a good exit there on leaning against this previous support here. I'm curious if this will pull back to 41.80 here on ES. I might be interested in going long again, but I feel like this is a little bit of a counter trend. If I go long here for too long, that's why I locked in the profits pretty quick against this previous initial balance support area here from 630. So here, I'll show you guys right here, basically where the market opened. Tested it here. This is how it looks like on a 1 minute more clearly. Kind of pulled back here, locked in a decent amount of profit there. And now definitely buyers are in control. It was nice seeing this little poke manipulation and then just aggressive buyers here. And that's the awesome thing about using order flow, is if you're looking at the let's say 1 minute, 5 minute bar, and you're just looking at this data right here, you do not know if there's sellers here, buyers here. It could be a neutral zone, like you have balance here. And if you're looking at ES, you're seeing 4,700 more buyers. Then this one was pretty balanced, negative 470. then 5,000 more buyers, 2,000 more buyers, 3,000 more buyers. So you're seeing that against this extension line, you're seeing a lot of buyers picking up. So that's why I was going long there. I did get faked out on this initial. I saw this right here, 4,700 against this initial balance area. So I did go long here with a tight stop at new lows. So got stopped out but for 1.5 points here. And then I saw this manipulation of just pushed lower, try to take out all of these sellers here or all of these buyers. Went back up. I went long here. It went up right away. Then it pulled back a little bit, went long again, and then just locked in some profits. So just like to me, order flow is a game changer when you're seeing this context here. Yeah, I think it might make a push towards like 41.89 here into this kind of cluster of orders here. But ideally, I want to see this push lower to 41.79, 41.80 here, kind of into this balance area here, and maybe take a go long again there. Yeah, I could take a look at the news here. Yeah, looks like 10:01. There was McCarthy. I'm not scheduled to go to the White House today. Everybody's keeping an eye out on the debt ceiling stuff going on today. Yeah, looks like still holding this price, this profit that I just took here, still holding nicely. Obviously, it was just almost like a slight counter trend of this initial move where I went long here, and it was too clear to not take this long. We had a bunch of buyers here against this initial balance zone, and yeah, just caught this little nice trade up. But it's hard to say exactly how much it's gonna go up because it could go up a little bit and then pull back, and you could have potentially locked in this profit and then rebought lower. Which is kind of what I'm expecting. I think we might see a retest of 41.80 here soon. That's where I might be rebuying back here, kind of into this cluster of orders here. But I'll see what order flow is showing me when it does test this area here. So far, it was a great profit target that I just took. NASDAQ is showing a little bit of weakness as well. So validating my thesis on that this might drift a little bit lower as well. It's going to push NASDAQ a little bit lower. NASDAQ will push ES a little bit lower. Yeah, seeing a little bit of sellers stepping in here. This is ES. NASDAQ, same thing. We have more 400 more sellers and buyers. Yeah, for those joining in. So this is actually my second live stream for the day. I was live streaming for about 2 hours here this morning, and through this chop here, we had a lot of just chop here, and I was shorting this mostly. I decided to take a profit here this morning, and around 9 o'clock, because I don't like to trade after, and I kind of expected it to keep chopping around, but that was could have waited a little bit longer and drove this thing a little bit more. And then eventually what we saw here was it fell to this extension of the initial balance, which is the initial balance is the low and high of the first hour. And these are the 50% move of this, 100% move, and so on. And usually these lines, they hold very well on intraday level. And what we saw is once it fell here, we had 4,700 more buyers than sellers, but then it was kind of manipulated here, but then immediately jerked back up. So I went long here with 5,000 more buyers than sellers, then 2,000 more buyers, and I just rode it to this initial balance low. Here's how it looks like on the 1 minute bar. Basically, this is the shorts I was taking here, locked in some profit, fell here. I actually went a little bit early here on the 1 minute because I saw this initially, and I'm just like, okay, I'm going to take some profit here, or I'll take a long here and stop just below this this 4,700. I'm hiding behind it. It pokes through and then stops me out for just 1.5 point loss here, and then immediately turns back around, and I'm like, okay, this thing is too strong. That was like a little of a manipulation, so I went long again. Another stop here, could have been stopped out eventually again, but that's a trade I'm willing to take. It right away goes my way a little bit, pulls back, I take another contract long, goes up, I lock in another profit on 5 accounts, fully funded accounts. So now I'm kind of expecting this to ideally go to like 41.80 here to go long again. So just did a pullback to 41.82 here. So let's see what happens here. Not much selling here going on in this little push lower. So not too much strength here. Regarding my today's target, like for example, end of day target, is that what you mean? If it's end of day target, I usually don't make projections on that. That's why I don't really do options, because I don't like to project like where it's gonna close. I like to just project what I see in front of me and then trade off of those levels and then kind of use order flow to, because like for example, right now, if we're seeing at this bunch of buying, I could say, okay, we might close at 41.94, kind of in this balance area. But if this is gonna just step in the next hour, you're gonna see nothing but selling here. I would say it's potentially gonna close like maybe like into this 100% area, like 41.72. I don't expect this to sell off significantly or rally today. I do think it's gonna be, I think it's gonna close. If I was to make a projection, it's gonna close between basically this price right here. It's not gonna be lower or higher. I think we're gonna close into this range here. If I could pull up the daily profile, it's pretty bad quality because it's on a smaller screen. Let me see if I can make it a little better. Ah, yeah, I don't know why it's such bad quality. Whatever. But this is the daily bar for ES, and we're seeing it's drifting lower on the volume profile is drifting lower, but we are kind of just accumulating balance here on the bottom, kind of having this little wick rejection. So I do expect it just to be stuck in this area. I don't think we're gonna continue lower, but I don't know why the quality is so bad. Hopefully that's helpful for you, but um, I usually don't make super long-term projections for the day because, like, for example, right here, yeah, we're seeing a lot of sellers stepping in, and that's already changing my view that, hey, maybe we are gonna close lower, but and I react to that order flow information. I'm guessing you do like the zero, I think it's called like zero DT or whatever option expiration potentially, where you're selling options or something. I know some people do that and they like to project what happens on the daily and so on. Yeah, that was a great. I'm really happy with this little trade that I took on a lot of buyers. Very low risk, locked in this profits at this high into a zone here. Now it's selling off, and I'm not going based on the volume profile, or sorry, the order flow. I'm not convinced to go long here. Like, see, this is a way different picture to go long here than right now, and so I'm waiting for much more confirmation for a higher probability trade that I'm on the right side of the trade than going long just at a certain zone. Yeah, look at this. A lot of selling going on here. I'm curious with let me check out Nasdaq real quick. Yeah, Nasdaq is still not breaking these lows. So let me check. So I'm kind of expecting that we might see some support here at 4172, based on what Nasdaq is also doing. Yeah, no problem. Um, yeah, I'm curious. I mean, this is a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of selling. That was just, I don't know if you guys just saw that. That was just like, this has got to be a news event thing. Let me check if there's anything happening. Oh, okay, yeah. So negotiators meeting on debt limit has ended. I don't know if that's ended just for the day, but I think that's the just that response that we just saw with 4,600 more sellers here. So I don't know if it ended just for the day. I think market might be overreacting here, but I'm not going against this for now. A lot of times we see a market, they see that news right there and they're like, oh crap, it's over or whatever. And but they're gonna come out, they're gonna be like, oh, it's ended for the day. We're gonna reconvene tomorrow, and then market just uh basically recovers back from these lows and so on. Like you're already seeing some buyers here picking up. Yeah, still not enough conviction for me to go long here. But I was definitely on the right track this whole morning when I was shorting kind of this, trying to fade this market. Almost got filled here then it recovered. Short another one, just locked it in here at the end of the day when I usually stop trading. And then eventually this thing is just kept selling off. Took a nice little scalp here for like 8 points, which is nice, but was looking to rebuy at these prices, but not with what I was seeing on the order flow here. Let's see what the news, if they're saying anything. So McCarthy has not spoken to President Biden today. So nothing, no updates yet. Looks like we're seeing some buying picking up here again. Yeah, looks like NASDAQ found support off of this 100%. Both NASDAQ and ES found support kind of in this 100% extension line of the initial balance. Interesting to see what would happen here. All right, and those sellers just got, or those buyers just got obliterated here. Yeah, NASDAQ is definitely still holding this 100% zone here of the initial balance. Let's check the news again. Yeah, nothing new here. Yeah, might be a decent opportunity to go long. I feel like I would want a little bit more buyers, but we have this accumulation here on the bottom. It's breaking out of the accumulation, so we might see a little push higher. It's just one thing I usually don't like when the trend is down. You're kind of stuck at taking profits too early. Like for example, if I was to go long here, I would probably lock in at like 41.78, which is about like 5 points of range, and your risk is about 5 points of range as well. Like I would put it like at new lows. So kind of risk versus reward isn't great. So kind of want to see a little bit of confirmation that will make this more worth it. Yeah, one thing to call out, the VWAP has been, can't even pronounce the word, VWAP. But looks like it's been basically the whole day it was holding and acting as a resistance point here. We tested it, sold off, tested it, sold off, tested it, sold off, poked through it like by a couple ticks, and then it just sold off. So it has not been breached yet today. Yeah, I think I might step away for the day already. I'm gonna make a quick summary video on like today's trading, so people don't have to watch hours of live footage. So you guys can check out kind of a very high level view of what I was looking at. So I'll probably just stop the stream and might be done for the day. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Again, if you like this type of content, feel free to subscribe. I've been trading for over 7.5 years now, and been sharing a lot recently as I'm about a month or two in on YouTube. So thanks for watching. Have a